Now, the question says that nel incrocio rappresentato nella figura i veicoli transitano nell'ordine R, T, A, vero or falso? So we have 4 rows connecting to each other. So we have a junction, and we have only 3 vehicles approaching towards the junction. And the law says that the first vehicle to go, okay, you must have your right free, and your direction must not cross or pass in front of any vehicle on your right. And the question says that this is how these vehicles are going to pass. R is the first vehicle, T is the second vehicle, and A is the last vehicle. And the answer to this question is false, guys. Yeah, this is how the vehicle passes. R is the first vehicle to go because his right is free. If you look at the right hand side of R, you don't have any vehicle, and he's not passing in front of any vehicle coming from the right. So R passes first. After the R is gone, the A will be the second vehicle to go, and then the T finally will also pass. Now, our second question. Nell'intersezione in figura, il filobus passa per primo perché vincolato alla linea elettrica aerea, vero or falso? Yeah, Joshua, please don't worry at all, okay? I will open the speaker to take all your questions. We have 4 rows connecting to each other. Yeah, so they are forming a junction. And we have only 3 vehicles on the at the junction. And the question says that in this junction, the filobus is the first vehicle to pass because the vehicle is vinculated, meaning that the vehicle is using electricity. Okay, has his alimentation. True or false? And the answer to this question is false, because the law says that if the vehicle uses binary, then it means that that vehicle is the first vehicle to go. Guys, filobus, the alimentation, they are alimented by electricity, but they don't use wheels. Yeah, filobus are not tram. Their tires, they are the normal tires every bus, the buses they have, or our normal tires we also have. They don't use rotary. So it is not true that they are the first vehicle to pass. No, they don't pass first. So guys, how are these vehicles going to pass? Now we know that the filobus is not the first vehicle to pass. So now, give me the order of these vehicles. Exactly. So the first vehicle to pass, guys, is the R, because the R has the right free. There is no vehicle coming from the right road of R. So the R goes first. After the R, then the D will also have the right free because the R is already gone. And finally, the F, being the filobus, will also follow. Secondo le norme di precedenza nell'incrocio rappresentato in figura, il veicolo R passa per primo. Yeah, so whether your answer is true or false, after your answer, let me have the orders of the vehicles. Secondo le norme di precedenza. So according to the rules and regulations of this right of way at the junction. The vehicle R, that is the red car, passes first, true or false? And the answer to this question is zero, because between C, A, and R has the right free. So for this matter, R is the first vehicle to go because the direction is not passing in front of any vehicle from the right, because the right is free. Once the R is gone, then the A will be the second vehicle to go, and finally C will also follow. Okay, so R, A, C. And the answer to this question is zero. Now, nell'incrocio rappresentato in figura, il veicolo A non deve dare la precedenza ad alcun veicolo, vero or falso. So whether your answer is vero or falso, after that, let me have the sequence. Guys, you cannot have the sequence before answering the question. You must always know the sequence or the order of the vehicles before you can answer each of the questions. So the question says that in the junction figured, vehicle A non deve dare must not give the right of way to any of the vehicle at the junction, true or false. So in other words, it means that vehicle A is the first vehicle to go, because if a vehicle must not give the right of way to any vehicle on the junction, then it means that that vehicle is the first vehicle to go. That is why you must not give right of way to anyone. And the answer to this question is zero, guys. Now, we have 5 rows connecting to each other, and then we have only 3 vehicles approaching in the junction. Now, B can't be the first vehicle to go because the right is occupied by E. The E can't go first because his right is also occupied. Now, A is the first vehicle to go because the right is free, and then his direction is not crossing vehicle on the right. Okay, so A passes first. After the A is gone, then the E will be the second vehicle to go, and finally the B will also pass last. Okay, the B will pass last. Nell'incrocio rappresentato nella figura, il conducente del veicolo D passa per primo, vero or falso. So in this junction figured, vehicle D passes first, true or false. Okay, so guys, we know that vehicle D passes first. So let me see the orders of the vehicles or the sequence. How are they going to pass? So the D has the right free, and he's not crossing any vehicle on the right. Now, the D passes first. After the D is gone, and then the E and the S also go. So guys, know that the E and the S, they can pass at the same time. Okay, so D, E, S, and finally the A will be the last vehicle to move also. Nell'incrocio rappresentato nella figura, il veicolo N deve dare la precedenza al veicolo R, vero o falso. Yeah, this question is very tricky. Guys, look at the question very careful. Nell'incrocio rappresentato nella figura, il veicolo N deve dare la precedenza al veicolo R, vero o falso? Yeah, look at the question very, very careful, guys. Guys, and the answer to this question is false. Guys, the answer to this question is false. Now, let's emphasize, okay? Now, let's emphasize only on the N and R. And the question says that vehicle N must give right of way to vehicle R. Now, it means that before the N will move, he has to give right of way to R to move first. And it is false because if the N doesn't move, R cannot go. Guys, do you get a question? If the N doesn't move, if the N doesn't move, the R cannot go. So the question says that N must give right of way to R. Just imagine only these vehicles. Don't look at all the junction. Look at only these two vehicles. N must give right of way to vehicle R. And the answer to this question is false. No. The N has to move first. So when the N moves, he will move and stop in the center of the junction. Okay? When you stop in the center of the junction, then the R will go. Okay? So N has to give right of way to A because the N will move and stop in the junction. R will go, A will go, and finally N will go. Guys, do you get a question? This is one of the tricky questions. So the ordinance goes that R is the first vehicle to finish crossing the junction. Okay, so now N moves first and stop in the junction, and then R goes. A will go, and then finally the N being the junction will cross last. But the question says that N must give right of way to R, and the answer is false because if N doesn't move, R cannot go. So N has to move and give right of way to the A. When the N move, the R will go, and then the A will go, and the N will be the last vehicle to go, guys. These are some of the tricky questions they can ask. So, guys, you come to these questions again. Now, look at this one also. Nell'incrocio rappresentato nella figura, il conducente del veicolo A ha la precedenza rispetto al veicolo D, vero o falso? Yeah, now they will be using the Italian words just to distract our understanding. So the question says that in the junction figure, il conducente del veicolo A. So the driver of the A ha la precedenza rispetto al veicolo D. It means that the A has the right of way on the D vehicle. Yeah, they are using Italian word just to confuse us, guys. So the vehicle A has the right of way on vehicle D. And the answer to this question is zero, guys. The answer is true. A has the right of way on the D. Now, how are these vehicles going to pass? L is the first vehicle to go because the right is free. Now, when the L is gone, the C and the A will be the second and the third because the C and the A can pass at the same time. So L, C, A. And finally, D will go last. D will be the last vehicle to go because the right of D is occupied by A and C. The right of L is free. So L goes first, C and A follow, and D will be the last vehicle to go. That's our last, and then let me take your questions. Dugendo all'incrocio, rappresentato in figura, i veicoli passano nel seguente ordine: H, D, B, L, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is true, guys. H, D, B, and L will be the last vehicle to go. Guys, let's do this one also. This is our last question. Nella situazione rappresentata in figura, il veicolo B impegna per primo l'incrocio e deve fermarsi al centro di esso, vero o falso? And how are these vehicles going to pass, guys? And the answer to this question is false. The question says that B will move and stop in the center of the junction. And the answer is false. So, guys, how are these vehicles going to move? Yeah, so T, that is the tram, is the first vehicle to pass, followed by the G. And then between the B and the P, guys, the P will also follow. The P will be the third vehicle to go, and B will also be the last vehicle to go. Yeah, so guys, please don't give up, okay? Yeah, let me open the audio so that, guys, we can all reason and share ideas together.